Are you counting us down, Trey? Because you're the one that pushes the button. Hello, everyone. Hello, Team Green Gaming. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate your patience while we're doing the setup. We are ready to get our next run going. We have Driver 2, Redriver 2 version, all missions with the Survivor. It's all yours. Take it away.
Thank you. All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Driver 2. Sort of. We'll get to that bit while we run the game. But yeah, this is basically the old PS1 game that I'm going to speedrun. Going to do all the mission as the name implies. So basically everything from the start of the game, every mission, there's nothing being skipped. So we will be able to showcase the entirety of the gameplay and all the tricks that come with it. Should be a fun run. So should be everything for that. Oh, I guess I can introduce myself too. I'm, again, the survivor. I'm the speedrunner of all mission of this game. I'm the current world record holder too for the category. So that should do it for the moment. We'll get to the rest of it while in game. So whenever you're good, just give me a quick countdown. As soon as I click new game, the timer starts. So. Okay, ready with the timer?
Yeah, if you're ready to go ahead and count you in.
All right, go ahead.
All right. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, and start. So first of all, just skip cutscene, which is, and we skip the in-game cutscene, which is probably something that's probably gonna make question some people, because that's not something usually that happens. So what is exactly this? Because this is not, as I said, Driver 2 as normal. This is basically it's a PC port that's been made by some fan of the game. Because basically the original version of Driver 2 was only for PS1. It was released in around 2000, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I think it was around 2000, something near that. Anyway, and it was a brilliant game. Like, it got decent reviews. It was a sequel to the first Driver game, which got amazing reviews. It was basically the first 3D driving game in an open world like this, way before GTA made it with Grand Theft Auto 3 in like 2001. So this was groundbreaking, especially the first game. Unfortunately, the game has a massive issue on the PlayStation 1. Its performance is basically nearly unplayable. The game chugs really hard. And I mean, like, it plays at basically most of the time at 2/3 of the speed, and if it gets crazy, it can go down to like half and even a third of the speed. It's really frustrating to play. So it kind of soured a lot of the reviews at the time and even after the fact, which is a shame because the game itself is really fun. The driving physics are brilliant. Like, to this day, I still think this is the best driving game physics for an arcade driving game that's out there. Like, I haven't played any arcade driving game that's beat this, in my opinion. Also, that was a mission done. Don't worry about it. It's gonna go quick at the start. It's the beginning of the game. It's pretty early. It's nothing too fancy that's happening. Except this. Maybe I will get it. Oh, this is gonna be close. This could end poorly, but let's do it. Okay, no, we're gonna get it. Okay, so here's the first trick. I'm basically supposed to chase this guy, except this guy is gonna end to the same place every time. Oh, and I wasn't looking. Oh, this might end poorly. Yeah, this gonna end poorly. I think that just failed. Yep. Okay, I should have paid more attention there. Okay, that's a good start to the run. Oops. So yeah, basically, as you can notice when the car around me, he has infinite mass. He can push me out of the way as much as he wants. And I don't have much say in that, so I'm going to let him go this time. I'm just going to take it easy. Basically, the chases in this game are made basically on a rail. Like, the car is always set up... That was a noise. The car is always set up to go on the exact same path with the exact same inputs on each specific pattern. So even if you get in the way, like you saw earlier, if there's a traffic car that gets in the way for some reason, it'll just push it out of the way and not even acknowledge it. And the traffic is also preset every time in each of these patterns. we'll get in more into patterns in the later mission. It's gonna be more important. Oh, okay. Okay, we're a little rough beginning, but whatever. So next mission, we just chase a train. This is basic on a scroller because, well, it's a train. It's surprisingly on a rail. There's not much you can do against it, so... But you can still lose it somehow, because I guess Tanner doesn't know where the train goes, even though there's only basically a single track for the rail to follow, but don't worry about it. The game has a lot of weird, like, mission that don't really make sense once you think about it. But to come back to the driver to discussion, so the game itself was pretty rough with the performance on PlayStation 1. So a man called Soapy made a fan port of the game. A cop car. So they could run basically natively on PC. So this is not an emulator. This is actually like you just use a ROM and it runs on PC like it's a normal PC game pretty much. Which is kind of mind blowing because it allows you to basically use your power of your PC and not be limited by the PlayStation 1's limitation and the CPU and everything. So the game just gets to run at constant speed. No matter what, it makes it a much better experience. It's basically the go-to to speed run this game, but you don't play it normally, honestly. There's no real reason to go back to the original one, because this is basically the original one, but much better. So yeah, that's basically the difference between Driver 2 and Redriver 2, which is what I'm using. And also it adds some little niceties, like as you saw, like the in-game skip cutscene button. The load times are much quicker, unsurprisingly, because again, we're loading straight up from a SSD instead of a disk. So just from that, it's a hell of a difference. So it's just, I see, like the loads are basically instant. Oh, okay. So here we're going to talk more about the pads that I mentioned earlier. Okay, there it is. Basically, like I said, the car is always going to go on a set pad, but that pad is dependent on which pattern you got. So the first time I got a 150 pattern, and this time I just restarted because I didn't want to use it. I got instead this 136. There's basically like, in this mission, I think there's like 4 or 5 patterns, and there's a couple that like are duplicate, but I think it's 4 or 5 unique patterns. Let's go with that definition. Basically, since this is just a simple tailing mission, I just need to follow the person to the destination. There's no point in me taking the slowest one. I just want the quickest one. So 150 is obviously like basically 14 seconds slower than the 136 I just got. So I just reset until I get this one because the delta is long enough and it's worth it to restart. Basically, each time you do a restart like that, it's about 4.5 seconds of time loss. So obviously, when it's the difference is like up to 15 seconds, it's pretty worth it to just restart and just get to 136, especially when you're early in the game like this. Now, there is a slight optimization I can do around here. Okay, I don't want to get too close, but the endpoint is not based off him. It's still based off me. It's just an invisible checkpoint. So I can just cut through the trees right here and just go straight in the garage before he does, and that just skips straight to the end. So I don't need to wait on him. Okay, next mission. So this is where the bread and butter of this game comes through. The chasing, where being pursued by cops and everything. This is where this is what made the Driver what it is, and what made it popular at the time. Because this is just like basically a tribute to like 80s, 70s and 80s like action movies. And it's actually really fun too. This is basically the more fun bit of the game. That's an awkward crash. And as you can see on the top left, I have 2 bars. I have my damage meter. Whoops, that's an awkward card spin. And I also have my filling meter at the bottom, which is currently filled up. What does that do is, at first, that could be bad. Okay, that's fine. That worked out. Basically, it lost me already? Okay, sure. I am driving poorly today. Wow. That's not going great. Okay, let's get back on the road. Okay, so as you can see, I can get roadblocks. There's two cops chasing me. The felony meter can affect a couple of things. At first, when you just get a cop car, and you just haven't done anything, you just get like a little like sliver, basically like 10% of the felony meter. That just gives you one cop car. And in that case, the cop isn't gonna exactly chase you. It's more like just gonna hang behind you. It just tail you slowly. It's not actually gonna try to ram you fully. So that's like the base limit, the base setup for felony. If you get more felony, which you can get by like hitting a car, hitting a wall, scaring off pedestrian on the sidewalk, hitting props like crates and everything, that's gonna give you more felony. Funnily enough, hitting a cop car doesn't count. Like the one that's chasing you, for weird reason, that doesn't count for the felony meter. I guess they didn't want you to get like felony for just being rammed by the cops. So I'm guessing that's their logic. One little thing we'll notice, as you can see the cops slow down there. Basically, there's a nice feature that allows you to lose a cop as soon as you get near the destination, which is pretty convenient because you don't actually need to like lose a cop and figure, oh god, am I gonna have a cop on me? Am I gonna get lucky? You just kind of lose them by themselves. The cop slows down, and there's no spawn that can be happening around the end of the mission. With an exception that we'll get to once we get to it much later. So here's another chasing mission. I got a decent pattern, so I just went with it. Chicago is a bit bad for that, because basically the two chasing mission, they both have a pretty decent delta. Like this one, the quickest pattern is a 1:46, and the slowest one is a 2:10. So yeah, you can do the math on that one. It's basically 25 seconds of a difference, which is, and that's all up to RNG. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just hope you get the quick one. Because again, he has infinite mass, so there's nothing I can do against him. I'm just hoping he gets that as quick as he can. Okay, I'm just gonna tail him behind him, just go around because there's this van always there. Because again, the traffic in each pattern are always consistent. It's exactly the same traffic, exactly the same path he's gonna take. He's gonna turn left here and go around here. This game does also quite a unique way of doing rubber banding. Basically, if you go around here, instead of the usual way where most games do it, with like chasing games. Usually the AI gets sped up, and you're getting if you get like too close, or if you're getting further away, the AI is going to get slowed down a bit. I'm going to let him pass. Again, I just do this corner because it's quicker than just going where he goes. I'm going to slow down a bit because I can actually fail by going too fast and hit the trigger to end the mission. But yeah, if you instead of the game slowing the AI, it slows down and speeds you up. So it gets weird to drive in these chasing missions, because if you are really far away and about to lose him, you get a massive amount of acceleration, which actually makes handling pretty hard. So it's almost a curse. Anyway, here's Kane's Compound. This is like a weird mission where you need to escape this place, and there's like a bit of roadblocks. It's supposed to be a puzzle, but turns out you kind of just cheese the puzzle by either like going toward the gap because it's not properly closed off, or just straight up push the van out of the way like I did with the first one. Unfortunately, I cannot do anything against these guys. These semi-truck are blocking the path again, but these are not like these vehicles, or they're not actual like drivable vehicles. They're just basically walls. So there's no point in trying to ram them. But that doesn't mean I cannot like just cheese the mission, because I don't want to go all the way back up and go all the way back through these hangars. I can just cheese it. Hopefully this works, because this is really precise and a bit janky. Alright, come with me. Because you see there's a little gap there. We're going to go for that gap. Or not. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, hopefully this works. I don't have much health. This may not end well. Okay, he's not pissed at least, so... Oh, that's sad. Okay. Let's do the intended route. Okay, well, that's a shame. I suppose I was bound to fail that one in the marathon eventually. But basically, you can just get the guy to squeeze you right to the in between the wall and the semi truck and just get you to skip this long drive. Unfortunately, it didn't work. I just didn't get the perfect alignment. That's this game, sadly. It's a really precise trick. It's really hard to get it perfectly. My strat is still to just eyeball it because there's no like pixel you can use anything because it's dependent on the van pushing you too. It's not just like a matter if you like say in Ocarina of Time where it's a matter of like if you do these specific move you get this specific alignment and that allows you to just skip through some walls. Well, this doesn't work because it depends on where the van behind you drives. So if it would have worked, we'd just gone through there and just skip that whole back and forth drive, but didn't get lucky, sadly. And skip the cutscene. And leaving Chicago. So this is already the last mission of the first city. So this is where we add also rain physics to the mix. It's basically just as you expect. It's just the same as usual, but slightly more slippery. We also add like non-police pursuers. Mostly they're the same. They have the exact same AI as police. The only difference is that if they cannot like set up roadblocks, and the felony meter is also invisible during these missions. It's still there, like it's still active. It's just you don't see it. But like I'm still getting felony. So if I just like rub a car, they're gonna be angrier. Like they still get pissed at me breaking their law, even though it doesn't make any sense for them. But I guess that's why they don't want to show the felony because it makes it less obvious that way. We'll go to that way. I also noticed in this mission, the AI really struggles to chase you. They lose you super easily. And it's not like it's the rain physics, because there's other mission with rain physics, and the AI doesn't struggle as much. It's only this one where they really, really cannot keep up with you. Who knows why? Let's go through here. But yeah, this is just your usual A to B with a timer. Most of the mission of this game is go A to B with a timer and get there in time perfectly. In the early part of the game, it's pretty easy because the timer are usually super lenient. Especially in Chicago, you're usually allowed to leave your car, so it makes it even easier. So you have time to just crash your car and leave the car and grab a new one if needs be. Although, funnily enough, that's actually not intended. They didn't actually plan you to leave your car, because technically you're supposed to be with someone else. That's not the right lane. Okay, the AI doesn't know how to drive, by the way. If they need to turn, whatever their lane they are, they'll just turn anyway. They don't care if it's the wrong lane. But yeah, the driving to A to B is pretty lenient. So it's once you're not supposed to leave in this mission the car, but they kind of messed it up, Reflection, when they coded it, and it happens that you actually kind of just can leave it anyway, even though you're supposed to be with someone. But oops, little coding error. And that's Chicago done. Now we get another tailing mission. Oh, we got a good pattern. In this mission, there's only one pattern that's unusable. It's a 2:16 one, because again, this is another just get to the end. So there's nothing really for me to do. So I'm just hoping to get the quickest one. But now we're gonna get to the more crazy part of the game, because another thing that this game was notorious about is the difficulty curve. It's all over the place. Driver games have always been known for having like a wacky difficulty curve. Like Driver 1 was renowned with the insane tutorial that was much too difficult for no reason. Okay, I just need focus, guys. I need to get ahead of this guy, and it's a little bit tricky in this pattern. You don't have much leeway. It's not too bad, but it's enough to be a bit tricky. Okay, you just need to be close by, but you can just go around here, cut through here. And there you go, you're ahead. And since I know where he's going to go anyway, because the end point in all these patterns is the same, so I can just easily just drive before he goes. Because I know the exact route of these patterns. But yeah, we're going to, as I mentioned, for the crazy difficulty, the next mission we're going to get is the takedown mission, where we're not just going to chase a vehicle, we're actually going to have to take it down by damaging it. Except it's not as simple as that, because it's still like a infinite mash chase for the first two. So if I just ram the car, I'm surprised it's just gonna bounce like basically what happened the first mission the second mission when I failed. I'm just gonna get bounced into hell and just not be able to do anything. So you kind of just need to rub your car against the AI to rank up damage. It's weird, but that's how this game runs it. That's a good pattern. And to make it easy for, I guess Reflection decided, let's add a pursuer to the mix. Because why not, I guess? Because that wasn't hard enough for a first time playing. So yeah, as you can see, I kind of just run my car. And now I need to get out of the car. Unfortunately, I cannot get out of the car because I'm being chased. And the game doesn't allow you to leave your car once you're being in chase. Okay, I just want to make sure that the guy doesn't hit the van, because the van doesn't have much health. Okay, there we go. Now get in the van and get out here. Let's go around here. So yeah, you kind of just need to slowly rub your car against the van and slowly rack up the damage while avoiding the other guy that's chasing you. And then you need to deliver the van to the lockup while also avoiding the AI that's spawning, as you can see on the map. So yeah, as the introduction to takedown mission, it's a pretty poor one, let's put it that way. It's a little optimistic on the new player skills. Thankfully this went well, we got it first right. The quick kill wasn't perfect, but we'll take it. Thankfully in these missions, it's less the patterns are less important. You still need to avoid some, because either, like in this case, you can go right at the start, which is bad because this is basically escaping away from where I need to go here. Just open the garage door, dump the car in here. Whoop. Press the button, and there you go, victory. And if this wasn't hard enough, the next one is another takedown mission, except this one, the guy drops bombs behind him. Because let's make it easy, right? But thankfully I can just cheese it by doing this. Because I know where he's going to go. So I can just park myself in front of him, and there you go. And get in. Simple as that. So that's how you cheese that mission. There's two patterns I use. The 147 I just got there, and the 150. Mostly because it's the one where the truck wiggles less. Because as you can see, I'm trying to park myself and kind of balance myself up against this guy. If you start to like wiggle around a lot, it's gonna get pretty hard for me to like stay in front. So I use those two patterns because those are the two easiest. The other two are kind of rough to do. He swerves a lot more. It's more frustrating than anything. So I just take the time loss and just to get a better pattern. But yeah, now we just drive the truck all the way back to the lockup. So if you have anything to mention, Edoshin, go ahead. You got a little bit of time.
Sounds good. No donations at the time, but I'd like to talk about again a couple of incentives we do have that are relatively close to closing for the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond run that is coming up tomorrow at 1:36 p.m. Eastern. We do still have two incentives open for that. One to change the soundtrack to the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire soundtrack. That needs $50 to be met. And then if you like the idea of fighting over what the file name will be, that is also available for that run. Currently winning is Arju with $37, and second place behind that is Team Green with $10. So make sure if you're putting in your donations and you want to have that go towards something, ensure that you select an incentive to make sure that counts towards it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a good cause, so go ahead, everyone. Okay, so we're gonna get to the end of this mission. Again, like it's just drive A to B. I did goof it because I got caught by a AI that decided to turn it. I was hoping I was gonna get it before it, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But the next mission is another takedown mission, because why not? It's a bit of a gauntlet at the start of Havana. Oh, a little too far from the button. Because it's going to be a mission where you need to take down 4 vehicles, because one wasn't hard enough. Thankfully, there is a a slight difference. This time the AI, you don't have to actually like stay with them. I can actually lose them. It's fine. Like they are driving around town basically, and they are not in infinite mass mode. They actually are driving with the AI itself. Unfortunately, you'll probably see why they didn't do that for most mission, because the AI doesn't drive all that well. Okay, now just make sure this hill is always terrifying. Okay, I didn't get any car in front of me. Once it's off camera like this, it's basically on autopilot, and it's always aiming for the same spot. It's basically a northern point in Havana, so I always know when they're off camera where they're gonna go. When they're on camera, it's slightly more chaotic, because sometimes he goes left, sometimes he goes straight. Sometimes he turns left there, and sometimes he just goes straight again. It's... Okay, so yeah, I need to actually ram him this time. So instead of just robbing my car, which is the more logical way you think of taking down a car, but with this game, logic is not always there. Okay, there you go. As you can see, like the AI wasn't that great at driving. He got... Honestly, this time it was worse than usual. Like, it really got confused there, but it's an issue with it. So that's probably why they decided to do the infinite match chase for most mission. To enable like more cinematic chases, I guess. Okay, in this mission, all the cars, like car number 1 always spawn at the same place, car number 2 always spawn at the same place, etc., etc. So I always know where they're gonna go. I can always like have an idea. Okay, I can probably meet him over there. Like I know he's gonna go straight and go at that 90 corner, so I can just meet him here and go for a head-on collision, because that's obviously the best way to do damage. That's a good hit. And I know like the third guy is going to spawn around the corner here. Ah, that wasn't a great hit though. Okay, that's good. Okay, this is going to be awkward, because this guy is going to spawn right next to me. Like, he's already here. Okay, I kind of don't want him to go that way, because this is getting further away from the fourth guy. The fourth guy is pretty far away. It's only the first and second that are really close. But he's to the right of us, so I want him to go as right as he can, as much as he can. Okay, that was a weird corner. Okay, that's pretty bad, because now he's doing back and forth. Okay, he's usually going to go towards the northern part. Oh, you... Clever. Oh, well. Where the hell is he going? I don't think he knows either at this point. Okay, I'm gonna get out here, grab this guy, get out, grab my car. I kind of wish there was a new one ready, but I don't exactly have time to swap, so I'll just get there and see how this goes. But yeah, this mission is basically, if you're going to speedrun this game, this is going to be the run killer, because this is a lot of improvisation. It's not like the infinite masses, they're hard, but you can actually kind of like plan yourself ahead. It's like, okay, he's around there. I know I can just, he does every time this same path every time. I can just like go there and get in the head like in the explosive truck. In this one, it's kind of, you're kind of at the whim of what the AI decides to do when he's on screen. So he can easily decide to go, I'm going to go south, even though that's not where I'm supposed to be heading. Because like he's gonna go, yeah, he's going to go up there. He's going to go all the way up and go to the right after that. So I might just do a quick car swap. It might sound weird. It's mostly because I don't want my car to just die midway in the chase, and mostly because this is one of the few cases where the car you have at the end of this mission with its damage and everything gets transported to the start of the next one, and you basically start where you ended with the same car with the same damage. So since I don't want to start the next mission with basically a dead car, I prefer to swap it right away. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's convenient. Okay, that's a good kill. That's perfect. Because, by the way, if the car gets on the side, as you can saw, it just racks up the damage. Okay, and... Oh, we got the glitch. Hey, nice. I'm gonna swap out the car. Because this, as you can see, I have a lot of felony. And the car left me. That's a slow car. I guess we'll take the slow car. This is quite a chaotic run. Let's put it that way. Usually, I would avoid this car because this is the slowest car of the bunch in this city. But since it's a really short drive, I'm near the ending. I'm gonna risk it pretty much. I'm sure this thing can make the jump. Oh, I didn't think of that bit. Uh-oh. Because yeah, the gist of the mission is, oh, the cops aren't good because we trashed a bunch of cars around the city. Let's escape using the boat because sure, that makes sense. I might fail this mission, honestly. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna jump right in the water. Yeah, I'm not making this. Okay, well, that's awkward. Okay, well, this is a chaotic run. Let's get out of here. Well, I gotta confirm myself why they ever used a little green car, because it's it's not quick. I never realized it couldn't actually make the jump to the boat. That's and used to find out. But yeah, so basically, the bad thing about Find a Clue, the mission we just did before, it's chaotic because of all the issues of, okay, I need to time myself, like, I need to kill these guys quickly, I need to kill them in a spot that doesn't put me too far away from the other guys, and I also need to kill the final guy near the end of this mission, because I don't want to obviously have to drive like 20 hours to just get here. There you go, that's more like it. Okay. Now, at least thankfully we're out of the crazy hard stuff, with a lot of fumbling down the way. But hey, it's this game. This game is pretty difficult. Like, it's notorious for its difficulty. So, like, it's probably one of the hardest like driving games in existence, like arcade driving games. And we're technically running on easy. The difficulty doesn't do much in this game. The one thing it does change is the pursuer health. So the cops have much less health when they're chasing you. That's going to be a tight squeeze. Well, it wasn't much of a squeeze. That's a little bit of failure in one, but whatever. As long as you avoid the halfway point where you start getting roadblocks, that's where it gets really bad. Getting a bit of failure is still bad because obviously now I have to dodge 2 cops instead of 1. But, well, what can you do? I don't think I've explained it, by the way. In the previous mission where I got 2 cops, 2 cars spawning at the start of the mission, that's actually a known glitch for this version specifically. I think it's been patched by now, but I'm running on the old version, mostly because the oil splitter works on this version only. Whoop. So, it's sad that weird issue where sometimes there's 2 cars spawning instead of 1. And as you can tell, the game doesn't really like having 2 things at the same spot, so it kind of just freaks out and just yanks everything out of place. Okay, so this is just a casual drive. There's a couple of driving missions until we get to the next chasing mission. But so in these missions, it's all about optimizing the line, like taking the cleanest racing line, cutting the corners as much as you can, avoiding crashes, unsurprisingly. Like, it's all about like optimizing the route to get there as quick as possible with as less slowdown as possible. Let's go again around here. I kind of find it funny that I failed like through 2 really easy missions and actually made it out of the hard stuff like mostly well. Oh, usually I would cut through the trees there, but the car was parked there, which obviously blocked up path pretty well. That's sometimes happened. It's traffic. The traffic is orangey, so if there's a car there, there's not much you can do apart. Well, go around. The AI, as you can tell, is not super smart. It's kind of just likes to drive. It basically just goes straight for you if it's close to you. So you can easily just bait it in other cars or just in like walls and objects. But if I come back, by the way, to the difficulty, again, we play on easy because the cops have less health. They are also slightly slower, but it's not super noticeable. It's not really the main reason we do it, honestly. The main reason is the health, because like in the truck mission with the pursuer, if I need to kill the guy that's chasing me, the more health he has, the longer it takes for me to do that. So I want him to die as quick as possible. It finally makes the last mission harder because the spawns in the final missions are pretty rough to avoid sometimes. So if you can just keep them behind you, that's the optimal case. But if they have less health, they tend to die more. So on easy, the final mission is surprisingly harder than playing on hard difficulty. As weird as it sounds. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. This is the final tailing mission. Thankfully, the good thing with this one is that the delta between the slowest and the quickest pattern is only 3 seconds. So you just go right away. There's no point in trying to reset for the quickest one. The time you're gonna waste resetting, even if you get the slowest one and get the quickest one after, is still slower than just doing the slowest one right away. Okay, continue, and now we get to another chase mission, Pursue Jericho. Oh, that's a good pattern. This is another mission like the Find a Clue where I need to, where I end is where I'm going to start a mission. Oh, that's quite the handstand. Can I, let's improvise a bit. I know he's going to go around. Oh, this is going to be bad. Okay, let's just restart. Let's just cut our losses because he's going to go south anyway. That's bad for me. Oh, we got another good pattern. Hey, that works out. That's what I wanted, expected more to do. Thankfully, he goes in the alleyway again here. And the alleyway is pretty slow. But hopefully I was slow too, because I was getting there quick enough. I just need to touch him one, because he's basically dead at this point. So, boop. Simple as that. But yeah, in this mission, the pattern is important, because it's another mission where I start where I ended, and I need to add to the garage again, like we did in the truck mission. So if you go south or something like that, that's awful for me, because that's a way longer drive. Meanwhile, in this pattern, I can just go straight right ahead and just go right for the exit, and which is way quicker, unsurprisingly. So you need to be specific about the patterns you pick. Thankfully, I got lucky. I did screw up the first one, but I got lucky and the game gave me another quick pattern right after. Oh, that was close. Because the available patterns, like the one that are good to do, is the 209, the 216 that you both saw, and there's also other one I forgot, the 202. Those are the 3 patterns I go for, because he's usually easy to kill and also hits where I need to go to begin with anyway. Oop. Okay. The one thing that's terrifying against this, because yes, they're usually pretty dumb, but the one thing they're good at to do is those kind of hits, like going for a head-on collision when they spawn they're facing you. They're good at that. That's gonna be the one that's gonna kill you, especially in tiny roads like this in Havana, like where you don't have much room to dodge. This is where it gets really difficult, and you can easily just flip your car and fail, or just get crashed out by them. It's surprisingly difficult to dodge these guys on tiny road. Thankfully, we managed to dodge them all, so that was good. Okay, Havana done. That was pretty good if we ignore the fact that I just went in the drink for a quick second, but apart from that, everything else went actually pretty smooth. Oh, I guess the second chase wasn't amazing, but it happens. So now we make it to Vegas. This is usually the part where I start to relax in a run, because I'm out of Havana. I got done with all the really difficult mission that can lose a lot of time. This is much more relaxed. Vegas is mostly like A to B missions with like a chase mission or two in between. And it's not just only chase mission. It's chase mission on the strip mostly, like in big open wide roads and highways. So it's like you got lots of room to dodge the cops and everything. Unlike like Havana, where we're driving like in tiny road with a little bit of sidewalk and that's it. So Vegas is much more relaxed. It still have a couple of tricks up its sleeve that we'll get to once we make it to it. But yeah, for now, this is just go straight to the south and hold X pretty much. It's a nice break at least. It does help a lot to like calm your nerves, especially if you're in a good pace after the hard stuff in Havana. It's nice to have. Yeah, it's like they're going straight line. Like they kind of ignore anything in the way. Oh, roadblock. One thing also that the felony meter affects, the higher it is, sometimes the quicker the cops will be able to spawn. So that's also something you need to consider. You need to be careful about your felony meter because you don't want them to be fully spawning. Again, in these missions, it's not too bad because, well, the cops are not allowed to spawn near the destination, and they will slow down before you get there. But there's some exceptions in this city, in fact. Okay, speaking of wacky mission, there's another one. This is just someone's got strapped in the trunk of a car. They're put on the bridge on the railway. We need to save them before the train just destroy them. It's pretty difficult. Like the timer is pretty strict. You basically need to drive perfectly and did what I do, because you don't have much time. And I guess they expect you to just park your car, get out of the pickup, and still get in. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I just want to do this. Because that's quicker. Oh, pickup's in the way. Oh, that's going to be awkward. I'm going to fail. Oh, just barely ran out of time. Okay, I didn't get lucky with the bounces. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a crazy strat. What I tried to showcase there is if the truck gets in the air in any way, you are allowed to leave the car, because usually to leave the car needs to be on a standstill, or at least really moving slowly. But if you kind of jam the pickup between the wall of the bridge and the car, you kind of just bounce around and you can leave the car much quicker. Unfortunately, the pickup kind of got stuck in a bad position, which unfortunate, but it's a bit RNG, so let's try it again. There we go, that's what I'm expecting more. Oh, you gotta be... Uh-oh, this is gonna be a bad again. Let's try it again. Oh, wow, this is... I think it might be the first time I actually failed this mission twice. This is quite a bad run. But hey, that's Marathon for you. Something like that happens. If everything would go perfectly, it'd be pretty boring, obviously. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do the save strat and just park myself like a normal person and just get out of the car. Because obviously the bouncing is not cooperating today. Well, the bouncing's working, it's just the parking jump after that's getting an issue. Alright, let's do that. That's much safer. It's less quick, but as you can see, it works at least. Thankfully, it's a quick mission, so it's not too terrible. And now we're back to another ADB mission. Also, enjoy the beeping. Every second of it. So yeah, there's a car bomb there's a bomb in the car. We need to deliver it back to the enemy because, well, we don't want to explode. We want them to explode instead. So let's just bring them back because I guess they decided let's put a 3-minute timer on this car. I guess, and let's leave the key twos in the car because why not? Oh, that's a bad balance. Definitely, it's a really tough bomb, as you can tell. Because I just crashed pretty hard, and the bomb didn't actually mind, so... Unfortunately, I have this guy chasing me, so I'm gonna get a bunch of felony going through the fences. So I'm gonna get a second cop car chasing me. Oop. Okay, managed to dodge it, thankfully. But yeah, if you have more things to say, go ahead. There's a bit of driving for the moment.
Sounds good. I'd like to take a moment to talk about what we are doing with this here marathon. Team Green Gaming is speedrunning to save the planet. Each year, we will pick a charity that is looking to make an impact on our climate crisis. We only have one planet to live on, and we should do what we can to make sure we can coexist with said planet. And this year's charity is Mother of Corals. Mother of Corals' mission is simple. We rely on coral reefs for a lot. They produce a significant amount of the world's oxygen, and more than 1 billion people rely on reefs for their livelihoods. But coral reefs are in trouble, and now more than ever, we need to return their favor. At Mother of Corals, we provide the tools and training to enable coastal communities to create, maintain, and share artificial coral reef habitats with the public in order to increase their environmental and economic sustainability. If you're interested in donating to this cause, you can see the link there in chat at donate.green-gaming.org. We would appreciate anything you have to give to us. Even just a $1 donation helps us out a whole lot.
And right timing, so we got to enjoy the HD explosion. Again, PS1 game, so don't expect too much on the graphical quality. So this is another like ADB mission. We just blew up the casino, so we need to escape. I somewhat suspect that this mission may be unfinished because as you can see, there's no cutscene. It kind of just dumps you there and kind of lets you go. All right, go get to the end. The felony is a bit poor because you have felony to start with, which got brought back in this version. The PS1 version doesn't have felony because they just disable it on foot. So, but yeah, I suspect this mission might have been unfinished, or but there might have been more to it because it's just normal cop, which doesn't make you think it'd be the gangster you just blew up their base that would be chasing you, but no, it's just normal cops. So, and it's just like a really simple mission. So there's some. That there might have been more before this, and that it just didn't get time to finish properly because the game did run out of time, unfortunately, which is why you had so much performance issues. The dev time was cut quite short, which is a recurrent problem with the Driver series, unfortunately. I mean, the most famous case is Driver 3. I'm sure a lot of people have already heard about that chaotic mess. That one got quite the Russia's service. So just hit the checkpoint, no need to break. You just hit the checkpoint, it counts as a win. Alright, so now there's a bank jump going on, we need to go pick them up. I guess I could talk about the story, so just so we have more context. But before that, Mountain Dew ad. I don't know why there's a Mountain Dew ad, but I need to point it out every time I do a run this game, especially when I showcase it, because this is the only Mountain Dew ad in the game. It's only on this building in this city specifically. I don't know why. Every other ads in this game are like made up stuff. Like there's a Denny's instead of a Denny's, like you can see over there. But the Mountain Dew that one for some reason made it through, and the original ad, I don't know if I guess didn't care about the copyright and nobody noticed, and I guess it just went under the radar. But yeah, random ad in there. But yeah, to come back to the story, as the game will imply, you're an undercover cop. You're this Tanner. You're basically the same guy from the previous game, who's trying to solve a gang war between two gangs in Chicago that's getting quite bloody, and it's mostly because of one guy that's running the books for both the gangs, if I recall correctly. That's called Pink Lenny, and basically you go undercover for one of the gang to try to get some info on where the guy could be. According to what you got, he's with the other gang, unfortunately, and you're basically trying to do odd jobs for this gang to just go up the rank and try at the same time to find the other guy in question, so you can just arrest him and stop the whole chaos. Also, fun fact, avoid the trees in this game. The trees, they look pretty tiny. They're not. They're massive. Like, the hitbox on the trees are, in Vegas specifically, are super wide. Like, I'm always going to go super around because I'm really terrified of just hitting the tree. I suspect there might be supposed to be a planter box, like, in the model that just forgot to be implemented because, yeah, the trunk is much bigger than it looks, so... It's only in this city, which is why I suspect it might be an issue with this city specifically. And then it died. Okay. Again, in these missions, I don't care too much. We're still in the part of the game where we have a lot of time to get there. Like, we still have 3 minutes to get there. And we're driving on a big highway, so we have a lot of room to dodge the cops. So I'm not too worried about my felony at this point. Like, the roadblocks are annoying, so I do want to keep it, like, as low as I can. But apart from that, it's not much of a worry. I hope, especially because the roadblocks in this part of the game kind of tends to spawn on the ground. Like, I saw that quite a lot. Again, just to make sure I can see what's going down there. Oh, that's an awkward pickup. Okay, that's fine. Dodge the trees. That was a really close one. I kind of was terrified there. Okay, then that's a corner. There's going to be a slight optimization there because you're supposed to get out and press the button. Again, slowing down is slow, so I'm just going to do that. And because again, you're allowed to leave the car once you're at, without any movement speed, so just ram the wall. That counts. Anyway, takedown mission with infinite mass again. So we need to take down the ambulance, and there's a cop chasing. So I'm going to try to kill the ambulance without the cop killing it. Do I reset? I think I'm going to do because I missed my chance. I'd rather not take any chances. The ambulance is pretty slow, so if I miss my chance, I'm kind of out of luck. Okay, I'm gonna get on the side just so I can push it. Because the main risk is I don't want the cop to touch it. Because as soon as the cop leaves the infinite mass mode when I take it down, it still has barely any health because I still damaged it because the game just set it to a specific amount of health just to make it look like, oh, you did this, even though you didn't actually do anything. Like the damage bar you see while you're chasing it is actually fake. It doesn't mean anything. Like the ambulance, like I said, the ambulance has infinite mass. If it crashed through a car, it might be like dead for the game, but it's still gonna drive around. But for your damage meter, it still won't count because you didn't do the damage. It only counts the damage that you do yourself to the ambulance while you're chasing it. As soon as you stop chasing it, it loses infinite mass stature. It becomes just a plain traffic car. Unfortunately, that means that it's now much more vulnerable because in this game, traffic cars takes a lot more damage than usual. So if the cop car who's trying to chase me decide to go for me and the ambulance is in the way, well, it's gonna just take out the ambulance and kill it because a big hit from the cop car that's going at full speed is enough to take out the ambulance because, as you can see, the damage is already pretty high. So I usually try to go in front, and as soon as I got enough damage, I go to the side and then, while doing the final hit, push it at the same time just so I can shove it away from the cop car and leave as much room as possible for the cop to just go by it without touching it. And the reason I reset it also, I guess I should mention that, because you might be thinking, well, why did you reset it? You already had a decent chunk of damage. Everything was going to be fine. Yes, but the problem is that the ambulance is already quite slow, so I want to take it, make sure it doesn't go too far from the checkpoint, which is, as you can see, all the way here to the south. And the thing is, all of the patterns, as soon as you get out of the first road, the ambulance goes left, which is north. Stake out. I'm going to turn around. The ambulance goes north, which is normally pretty bad for me because that means I'm wasting more time trying to catch the ambulance. Oh, we got a glitchy police siren. One of the sirens is not going. So I just don't take the chance. I just restart and try to kill it right away. This could be awkward. Well, that works. So yeah, I just prefer to take it to restart and just kill on the first roll because the game tries to match your speed to the thing you're pursuing. Even in these missions, in the takedown missions, so I'm as slow as an ambulance, even though this car usually is much quicker. So it makes the chase really frustrating because the ambulance kind of just goes in straight line for most of the time. So you kind of just get into this weird stalemate of you're just right next to it and nothing's happening much. So the best case scenario is to just since you start like ahead of the ambulance, you kind of just do what I did and get right ahead right away and just kind of get pushed by the ambulance to damage it. Anyway, that's enough for the last mission. Now let's talk about Stakeout. This mission. This is a famous mission for this game if you played it, for a simple reason. I remember the save zone system I mentioned, where the cop slows down when you reach your destination and you don't have to lose them and there's nothing that can spawn. Oh, that's awkward. Yeah, that doesn't apply to this mission. This mission doesn't have that. It's a bug. They kind of forgot to add it, so they can still spawn at the airport, and they will keep chasing me while I'm getting near it. And I'm not allowed to finish the mission with cop chasing me. If I'm in the vision of a cop car, I won't be able to finish the mission. So I kind of need to get them stuck somewhere, so I can reach the endpoint while they're not seeing me. So I kind of hug the walls around here, and this should be good. Okay, I'm fine. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's optimal. Basically, you kind of just hug the wall and hope they get stuck on the walls in the corner. And if you're lucky enough, well, you'll be able to just get them stuck and reach the endpoint without them seeing you, because the radar can still be flashing. Like the police chasing team can be going, the radar can be flashing, but if you're not in the cone of vision of a cop car, the game will count it. If you hit the checkpoint while not in vision, the game will say, "Oh, well done, you win." It's fine. You don't actually have to be like straight up out of a chase fully. But it's still a bit janky to do, and it's quite easy to end up being stuck doing like what I call doing NASCAR at the airport, because you're just doing laps trying to get them stuck somewhere, or just get them to just die off so you can just reach in peace the checkpoint while they don't see you. It's a frustrating mission. I got quite lucky there, so I'm quite pleased with that. So that went super well. Anyway, this mission. This is another like Life Find a Clue where I need to take down a car that's driving by itself. Like the AI is just driving around. It's not in the infinite mass mode. It's only one car, so again, if we go back to what I mentioned earlier with the weird difficulty curve of this game, for some reason the mission where there's only one car to kill is in the third city, and the first time you ever have to do something like that is where you need to take down 4 at once. Because sure, why not? The only thing I want to make sure here is that it doesn't turn on the highway, because again, with the speeding thing, if we just go on the highway, it's going to be a drag race when none of us just are just side to side and not doing anything special. Dodge me. Oh, he's going to the highway. That's kind of bad. Uh-oh. Okay, this is a bit... Oh, okay, this is exactly what I was fearing. Because, yeah, this is going to be an endless drag race. Because we have the same top speed, and my acceleration is limited, so what do you want me to do here? Oh. The AI is... Unfortunately, it's pretty bad at driving, except when it gets good at driving. And just, like, jukes you perfectly, which is why these missions are pretty bad, because it's really easy to kind of just... the AI is really hard to predict, so it's pretty easy to just get juked by the AI trying to like do some weird maneuver and just being way too unpredictable for you. Hopefully it goes left here. Oh, that's good. Okay. Thankfully it didn't go forever on the highway. Oh, well, that was a bad driving from me. Okay, there we go. Finally got it. That wasn't great. That was a lot of driving around. But again, if the AI decides to turn around by some time because of just RNG, well, you get stuck with exactly what happened there. Like, it's just me and the guy just driving the same speed on the highway and not being able to do much to each other. Because unlike the AI cops, I don't have any speed boost or anything, so I'm kind of just stuck looking at him. And I got lucky there still decently in my bad luck, because he at least turned around and just went back on the tiny road where it's curvier and he has to turn around more, so it's easier for him to crash into me, and vice versa. But if he kept going straight, that's where it's bad. Or if you went left when you turn around, that would have been pretty bad, because in that case, it's just a really, really long highway that doesn't curve anywhere. So that's a death sentence. At that point, it's almost worth it to restart. Unfortunately, like restarting that mission is pretty bad because just to get to the guy, it's like a minute of a driving. So it's like it's a last resort option, if obviously. But this is the second to last mission in Vegas. After that, we get to the final city of the game, Rio, and Rio kicks it up a notch. Like Vegas is again, like I said at the beginning, it's pretty relaxed compared to what you just had to do in Havana. Like this, Vegas is mostly like a mission like these where you just drive on the strip and stuff like that. There's only like stakeout that can be scary a bit, and ambulance and the chase the key mission, which that can especially chase the key that can lose you time. Rio has a lot of things because not only there's a lot of like really difficult chasing mission, and there's a lot of like precise tricks to do for these missions to like clear them easily and quickly, but the driving missions are also much harder. And, like the driving mission in Rio, we get like to the point where they really reduce the timer to the bare minimum, and not only that, and the street in Rio are pretty short. They're closer to like where you had in Havana, where like short street with not a lot of leeway around the sides to dodge. Like dodging the pursuers is quite a challenge in mode of mission. Like you don't have much of these roads like this in Rio, that's for sure. So like you don't have many missions where you can just like rest and be like, okay, that's mostly fine. No, most of the missions are like a brutal a brutal like mission where you need to pay attention a lot. Like even the mission where you're allowed to leave the car, most of the time you don't even have the time to do it. If you do it, you're probably going to fail a mission anyway because you're going to run out of time to get there. Again, hitting a wall because that's much quicker than just trying to leave normally. And also Tanner decided that 14 seconds is good enough to place 3 bomb and get out. Yeah. He lives dangerously. Let's put it that way. Thankfully, as long as you just get out of the building, you're safe. You don't actually need to get that far away. I just do it because, well, I don't want to risk it. Okay, that's Vegas done. Now we make it to Rio. We're with the mission Bus Crash, a driving mission, but a pretty rough one because it's a really lengthy one. As you can tell from the timer, we have 6 minutes to beat this. And basically we need to drive to a bus, get that bus, and drive it to a little parking lot with a bunch of cars that we need to destroy, and then get out of there back to our safe house. Thankfully, there's no pursuer for the beginning part of the mission. Until we took out the cars with the bus, we're fine. We don't have any pursuer to worry about. Unfortunately, we're stuck in the bus as soon as we get into it. We need to get it to the parking lot safe and sound. And the road it asks you to take is pretty bad. It's basically a really tiny 2-lane road that's going on the opposite sense of you. You're basically going against the traffic on a tiny 2-lane road. It's something. You'll see how bad it gets. Whoop, dodge this. And the bus is also really slow, just to make matters worse. And, well, it's a bus, so it's pretty big. It's not exactly a Lotus Elise, let's put it that way. Ooh, that's gonna be tight. But there's no way to, like, the game just forced you to stick to it, so there's no way to just, like, get out of it. Okay, let's drive this thing. By the way, if you notice, sometimes like, when I need to get out of the car, I kind of just do this e-brake move, or I just kind of try to spin the car as quick as I can. If you're lucky, it sometimes just can like lift the car in the air a bit, while doing that, which can count as the game as, oh, you're not moving anymore. You can leave the car. So it can be a quick way to just exit the car really quick, by just kind of flicking the car and getting a bit of air while doing that because of the suspension freaking out. It's not perfect. It's not. Somebody won't exactly bounce enough, and you'll just kind of get stuck. Out of the way. Bigger than you. Move. Okay. Let's go over here. So we're gonna get to the road I mentioned earlier. So here to the left, this is the road, the bad road, And unfortunately, it's basically the only way to get there. So yeah, this is what we need to drive to for the rest of the route. I'm gonna go in bumper. I usually go in bumper can here because it's easier to like maneuver the big thing. Oh god. Okay, around here, dodge over there. Okay, I think we get a bunch of cars in a row. That's the best case scenario because when the game is linear, it just gives you a bunch of cars in a row. It's not too bad to dodge. It's when the game starts to like force you to do slalom back and forth. That's where it gets brutal. Okay, that was quite smooth. And now to destroy these cars. I tried to just like slide off this car. Didn't slide as much as I would wanted. Then I can just get it back there, so it's not too bad. And there we go. So basically, it's kind of just try to slide off the cars. And now just get out the bus because this thing is really slow and just grab a car. This is the same thing as Havana. This car I'm driving and the Thunderbird over there, well, Thunderbird-ish thing, they have the same top speed for both of them. The only thing that the car that's slower is this guy over there. So I'm going to usually avoid taking that car if I need to swap out. Because as we saw in Havana, taking a slow car can end pretty badly. Can send you in the water even in worst case. Oh, you're the bad one. Okay. So yeah, like I mentioned, this is where the pursuer starts. I'm going to try to avoid the traffic. I don't want to get too much felony, just to make it easy on me. So yeah, this mission it's pretty difficult to do optimally because there's a lot of driving. There's lots of step to it. It's pretty easy to just fail, lose like 15 seconds just because, well, I got some bad traffic, didn't drive optimally. Or like slight driving mistakes like this. Or just like when you got in the compound and trashed all the cars, didn't get a good balance and took a little more time than usual. Because like the bus is not super quick and easy to maneuver, so if you need to like swerve around and try to kill them one by one, it's gonna take a while to do. And just dump the car in there. There we go. So that's one driving mission done. And to another rough one. This is also a pretty difficult one because there's rain physics, and we need to steal a cop car and bring it all the way up to the north, which is a really long drive. And since we're still in the cop car, obviously the cops are not that pleased, so you're gonna get a pretty decent amount of felony. And so basically you need to drive the same car without being allowed to leave it for a long drive on really tiny roads, and with the cops angry at you. It's challenging, let's go with that. And the rain physics doesn't help, let's put it that way. Again, this doesn't matter because I'm near to it, so the safe zone is gonna activate the SFX and prevent him from going any quick. Like they're not just slowing down; they're straight like basically stopping. And I'm pretty grateful for this feature because the one mission that it's not in because of a bug is pretty painful. Okay, so as you see, we have like 60% of the felony meter already. And we have a long drive to do, and we have 330 to do it. Thankfully, the game was a bit lenient. You're limited to one cop car in this mission. No, even if I'm technically supposed to be able to get two at this part, the game still only limit it to one. So it makes it slightly more bearable. Unfortunately, the roadblocks are they're pretty rough to dodge. They are slightly lenient too on these roads. Like Reflection realized, okay, maybe a full roadblock is going to be basically impossible to dodge. So let's make it slightly more easy to dodge, and let's leave a little gap in the middle so they can kind of squeeze it. It's hard to do because it's not a big gap. It's enough that you can just squeeze without stopping too much. Okay, we got a good spawn there. Getting the cop spawn on the curve like that is pretty good because the AI will tend to just drive in the walls and just get confused a bit, so it's easier to dodge there. Also, if you wonder why I'm slowing down in those like downhill curves, it's because the curve in downhills and uphills are weird. Let's go with that. Like they don't really work properly. So I don't want to just go at full speed. I prefer to just take it easy and just slow down and make sure I don't flip out, because I lost a couple of runs to just flipping the car on those curves. So let me tell you, when you're at the end of the game like this, it's quite frustrating to lose a run because you just flipped a car on a basic driving mission. Thankfully, this went well. This is another mission that you can easily lose all the time because, again, it's a long drive and it's lots of cops around, so it's pretty easy to get like bullied around by the pursuer. So this went actually pretty smoothly. I still find it funny that most of my failure has been on mostly the easy stuff, the stuff that I actually never actually fail. But hey, again, marathon lock. That's how it goes. It's why the estimate is not exactly the same as my world record. And just straight in there. There we go. Yeah, that was good. Finishing with 102 left is pretty good. Anyway, we got that cup car for one purpose only. We need to steal a limousine, and for some reason Tanner decided, let's steal a cup car to do that. I'm just going to do that again just to get out of the car quickly. Because, again, hitting a wall is much quicker than trying to brake manually, especially in the rain, because like you slide more, so you won't be stopping like as quick. So no point in bothering, just hit the wall and get out instantly. This is a pretty chill mission. This is just we go this way to the west of this. Is it wait on? Oh, thought it was could squeeze by. Yeah, we're going to the west to the destination, and then we're going back to the starting point. So we're going to drive this road back and forth. Pretty uneventful mission. But it's thankfully it's a nice break before the next mission, which is probably one of the harder mission. It's another mission where you need to take out a vehicle that's driving around by itself, like with the AI. The difference is that in that mission, compared to the previous one we did in Vegas and in Nirvana, the AI has a lot of help. Like it's tanky, and it makes the mission really difficult to complete because the AI is really hard to kill. Thankfully, there is a cheese strat we found. We knew it existed for a long time. Like we got it a couple times. We never actually knew how to get it consistently until a person called Valkyrie came up in our speedrunning Discord and just dropped a bomb on us that there's a consistent setup to get the AI to drive right in the water every time and instantly win the mission, because driving in the water does the same effect as the car being on side, where it just like slowly ranks up the damage. Well, not even slowly. It goes up pretty quickly, I'll be honest. If you do a specific, well, not a specific route, if you hit a specific point to make the AI spawn in a relatively precise spot, you can get it to drive in the water in one and just win the mission instantly, which saves a lot of time, because that mission is it's just difficult to do, period. Like it's really easy to fail it because the guy drives like really quickly. Like you saw, the AI is really unpredictable and chaotic when it's driving. And couple that with the fact that it has a ton of health, it makes for a really difficult mission. So we're going to use any cheese strat we can to make it as simple as it gets. And victory. So here it is, save Jones. Hopefully I get this. My track record with this run currently has not been great, but hopefully I get this. This is another really hard one. Because you don't have much leeway to get there. Like, you need to drive pretty precisely to get to the spawn point, pretty much, for the guy. Because again, as long as he's off screen, like away from me, as not spawned in, the game kind of just moves the checkpoint on autopilot on the set pattern, and that's it. So I can abuse that and just like prep myself at a specific spot so to make him spawn exactly how I need. Also, I'm gonna take this corner wide just so I can see under the bridge. Okay, there's no car. Basically, I don't want to lose time by crashing the car, because that would be enough to make me miss my my spawn's position. So I kind of go wide to see underside the bridge because there's no texture, so you can just see through it. So I can tell, okay, is there a car waiting for me? Okay, I'm going to need to go through this pole at 303. This should be good. Okay, yeah, that worked. And now I just need to make sure he doesn't... There we go, simple as that. So basically I just blocked him out of in the water and make sure he doesn't leave, because for some reason where he spawned, the AI just get confused, as it does in this game. And just, I guess it doesn't realize that there's a corner there and just kind of just goes straight in the water. We're not sure if it's just the AI that like think it's somewhere else, or it's just I don't know. The fact that it doesn't see the junction probably. It's weird, but at least it works for us because we can just get it to drive straight in the water, and we don't have to actually do anything about this mission. And again, like, it saves a massive amount of time because that car is super tanky. It takes a lot of hits to take down. It's a really difficult mission, so that trick saves like at least 2-3 minutes. And now we're back to driving mission. We're getting the 2 driving mission where you don't have much time to like hang around. Like, this is where if you crash your car, you probably won't have time to swap out and get there still. So you need kind of get it there in one go and make sure you're fine. You don't mess up. Oh, thankfully it's not too bad in this road, because as you can see, there's lots of road around, and the AI likes to spawn like away from you. Because how the traffic works in this game is there's a limited amount of cars the game can spawn at once. Because again, PS1 game, there's so much that you can do with there. The game already ran badly to begin with. They were already stretching it to the limit and beyond it, in fact. So there's a limited amount of cars that can spawn. I don't remember the exact number, but I think it's like 10 or something, 10 or 12, something around those numbers, maybe more. And well, the game tries to like spread it around because it just don't want to dump them like all in your face and just like despawn them every 2 seconds, because it doesn't know, oh, is he going to do a corner? Is he going to keep going straight? So it kind of just spread them around. So the more roads you have around you, the better it is, because you have less traffic to deal with, and there's less chance to face a pursuer, because they're going to just get spawned away from you on the streets around. So you have less worry to dodge them. But if you get stuck on a road like this where there's no other roads nearby, well, all the traffic is going to get dumped on it, which means you got more chance to see a spawn, which is obviously not something you want to deal with. Also, the mission is basically done by this point. Press the button. Because as soon as I press the first bomb, the game starts a 24-second timer until the mission ends. So you have 24 seconds to place the rest of it on and leave. A bit like the hangar mission in Vegas. So as soon as I place the first bomb, I'm on a scroller. I'm just waiting. Okay, Jones in trouble. This is the hardest driving mission in the game, because this is absurdly like tight. Even if I drive perfectly, I'm gonna have about 20 seconds of leeway. Like, the route I'm doing, you see it. This is the route you need to do. There's no other option. You need to do this exact route to get there in time, else you will fail. You will not get enough time. There's no other way to get there quickly enough. And again, don't crash your car because you won't have enough time to swap it out, because again, the timer is really strict. Thankfully, there were a linear, and it's like they steal a cop car, you only get one police car spawning at a time. So no matter the felony you have, you will only be limited to one. So that at least makes it slightly more like bearable. You still have to worry about roadblocks, so you need to make sure your felony doesn't reach the halfway mark. But it's more leeway than just being, oh, I just hit a car, well, I guess I'm stuck with 2 cops chasing me. And the roadblocks are pretty bad because, again, we're driving on these tiny roads. Again, tiny roads are isolated from everything else, so there's lots of spawn around. Oh, ow, okay. Hi there, cops. There's lots of spawn all around. So the chance of having a cop on your way is quite high, and dodging a roadblock is pretty hard because there's not a lot of room. The best case scenario is when they are facing the same way as you, because they kind of just do this weird turnaround, so you can just easily bait them to go one way and just quickly dodge to the other side and not have to worry about them. Again, braking here because I'm not flipping the car on this curve. Also, one thing to note in this game, hitting the wall, like in most racing game, you usually try grinding the walls is usually a good strat to make corners. Yeah, don't do it in this game. The walls are pretty badly made. You'll get stuck on like sticking corners that are sticking out everywhere. It's not a good time. Oh, that was risky to do. That was a really stupid thing to do. Don't do that, because that you can easily just clip a corner that's sticking out and just flip the car easily on that off ramp. So. But like you can see, like there's only 20 seconds left. I'm still need to get out of here. Like a lot of people will fail a mission by failing getting here, like just right next to the checkpoint. Okay, another really hard mission: chase the gunman. Oh, we got a good pattern. This is another legendary one. Thankfully, we got a nice way to cheese it. We basically do the same thing we did with the trucks in Nirvana. Oh, maybe not. Oh, never mind. Yeah, we'll fail that. It's slightly more difficult because, again, I'm trying to bounce off a tiny car and not a giant van, so it's a little harder to do. Okay, now I'm just going to reset to get a good pattern, because most of the pattern you cannot get ahead like I did. Okay, that's bad. I'm looking for 3 patterns specifically. Oh, this one. There's this one, the 158, and the 208. Those are the good patterns. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. And another thing is, not only compared to the truck, I need to fully kill it, but it actually takes more damage to do than the usual. The damage goes up more slowly than it does against the van, so it's a pretty rough one. I'm pretty pleased with that. Second try is pretty good. Like even my world record, my PB, it took me. I had to reset 4 times to get first of all a pattern that's usable, and I think I got it first right then. But it still took me like 4 resets to do it, because I kept getting like patterns are like not viable for that strat. Because on most of the pattern, he kind of just makes the corner instantly, and you're kind of just left behind, and there's no way to get ahead. And so you kind of just stuck waiting for him to get on the. Oh, hi there. You kind of stuck just waiting for him to get on the dirt road. Get some better occasion to do damage, which is a bit slow. Thankfully, it went well. That's the important bit. On PS1, that mission is absurd, by the way, because the performance is awful. Like it runs at 25% of the speed. Like you're basically crawling in that mission, which probably explains why the game that mission is notorious. Like it's usually called the hardest mission of the series, for a good reason, because. Oh, I got blocked up by the box. Okay. I just parked against the wall there just to, I can get out instantly. Well, not instantly, but just get out from the passenger side, so I'm closer to the other car I need to get in. Whoop, ole. Ah, that's filling in one. Crap. Okay, that's a bit bad. Because this is a long straight road with not a lot of room to dodge. So as low as I can keep my friendly is, the better it is. Because this is pretty challenging. Although if I can, oh well, I was about to say if I can keep them alive behind me, that's good. But guess not. Although we are getting to the last mission of the game after this, which is unfortunately really difficult because it's quite luck dependent, sadly. Basically, it's a simple chasing mission, like the chase the train mission. There's only one pattern. It's a helicopter you need to chase that goes the same way every time. Oh, that's wiggly, but that's fine. We're out of the scary bit, so it's not too bad. Because now we're in big open world, so we got a lot of room now. But yeah, the mission with after the final mission, the premise is simple. It's just follow the helicopter until it crashes at the end. Because the pink lady is in the helicopter, that guy we want to catch. So it's just, oh, well, stay with the chopper and avoid the gang that are all around trying to take you down. Like on paper, it doesn't sound too bad. It's like, oh, well, it's pretty easy. And the helicopter, you have a lot of leeway to follow it. You don't have to be too close. You can be off render and it still counts as you chasing it. The issue is that at the end of the mission, the helicopter goes on a tiny road that's secluded. And that tiny road has a big problem. I guess they didn't want you to see the helicopter crashing at the end. So they kind of decided to make the helicopter speed up. Unfortunately, they kind of made it speed up way too much. Also, final mission. So you'll be get rid on time because at the end of the mission, this is what time is going to be. They kind of messed it up because they made the helicopter going way too quick. If you don't enter the final road at the same time as the helicopter, you will fail the mission. The helicopter will lose you on the final stretch of the mission. It's that brutal. Like the helicopter goes way too quick for its own good. But thankfully, it goes the exact same road every time, so I can easily get ahead and just get as much ground ahead of it as I can. I usually joke that you usually have a voucher for one free crash in this mission, because if you crash once, you usually have enough time to recover and still beat the mission. But any more than that, you're probably gone. Okay, that's fine. Now my most important goal is to keep this guy on me. I don't want them to lose me, because that means I have to. Oh, I lost one. So that means I have to dodge at someone this road. And as you can see, this road is a tiny road that's secluded. So we have the issue where we have all the spawns possible on this road. So more odds of having to avoid a car. Okay, that's a good dodge. Okay, this is currently going well. It's not over because again, it just take one crash and you're done. So let's see what these spawns looks like. Okay, that's good. That's really good. I was scared about the second guy, but no, he just drove around me. So we should be good. I think this is going to be GG, thankfully. But yeah, this is a really easy run killer. It's quite easy to lose your run right at the end. I have lost multiple world record runs on this. So get ready on time. As soon as you see the well done text, it's going to be over. But yeah, you see the speed it's going. There's no way I can match that. And time should be now. Here we go. What a chaotic run. So what was the time, out of curiosity?
Soon as the restream catches up, we don't see it on the back end of you. We'll have it in a moment here. But yeah, that was well done.
Yep, thank you. Chaotic, but hey, we got it through. That's important. I got this a lot of hard stuff, which is good enough for me. That's what I want to show you. I'm sad I didn't get the clip at the beginning, because that's the only true glitch in this game. Everything else, as you saw, is mostly just good execution, good driving. But that's this game.
Looks like we had it at about 125.56 was when, but the text was on screen.
Okay, yeah, that's not great. Because think my world record is 117. Yeah, that's not amazing. But again, lots of little goofs that happen. So this game is pretty difficult. So it's pretty easy to just lose a lot of time just from some small mistake. The game does not forgive a lot. It's pretty easy to just lose a lot of time quickly. But yeah, I guess as a final note, I guess I would like to thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to Green Gaming for having me here, for showcasing this game. It's something I really love to showcase. Thank you to all the guys in the Speedrunner Discord for Driver. There's a Discord for the speedrunning and just Driver in general. So if you like this game, want to talk about it, want to learn how to speedrun this, go ahead, come to meet us in the Driver 2 chat room in the Driver Speedrunning Discord. We're more than happy to help you and teach you how to get into this game. The more people in there, the merrier it is. Big shout out also to Red Ricky and Viper Racing, who got me into speedrunning this game. I saw the other run before, and that's what got me to speedrunning this. So yeah, I think that's the. Oh, I guess, and big shout out to Soapy for making this PC port of Driver 2, which basically made one of my favorite game on PlayStation, and gave it the ultimate edition of it. So, yeah, that should be it for me. Thanks for watching, everyone, and enjoy the upcoming runs and keep donating for the cause. It's a good one.